2000, right back at you with another video. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to Leslie Chambers Kaiju Reviews on behalf of Summit Kaiju and on behalf of Collect All Monsters. And yeah, we're doing an awesome, spectacular X-Plus figure review today, or should I say a Star Ace / X-Plus figure review today. Yes. You already clicked the title. You already know who we're talking about. We're talking about the King in all his glory. So without further ado, let's dive head first into this review. And today we're taking a look at the Star Ace / X-Plus 12-inch soft vinyl figure deluxe version of Kong 2.0, based on his appearance in the super cool legendary Monsterverse film, Kong Skull Island. As you can see, I have the beautiful figure here. Yes, he is beautiful. Yes, he is. As well as the box here. You know, we do things around here. Let's get into the box before we get into the figure. And this is the box. Such great artwork on the box. It really is somewhat similar, very similar, if you will, to the first Kong release from Star Ace / X-Plus. You know, with a picture of Kong in the foreground, the burning red sun looming behind him, looking really awesome. You know, Kong Skull Island right there in the bottom right there. Such awesome artwork. And once again, like the first Kong release, it also has artwork on the back of the box, you know, with the silhouette of Kong, once again with the red sun looming behind him, as well as the helicopters that they're about to swarm him, you know, just like what happened in the film. So yeah, the box art is awesome. Between both of them, I can't really pick which one I like more, but these are boxes that I'm going to keep. As I mentioned in my last video with the Death of Real 98 Godzilla, I'm getting to the point where I need to trash a lot more of my boxes to make room for other figures, or more figures I should say. But when it comes to the Kong boxes, these boxes, in my opinion, are worth still keeping in your collection because the artwork is awesome. So that's it with the box. Let's go into the backstory with this figure. And the backstory with this figure is this. It's now starting to get into collectors' hands. I actually got this mid-March last month, 2020. I got it off of Hobby Search, and I think if you order it through Hobby Search, or maybe like a Japanese vendor or something like that, or maybe from the Star Ace website itself, you pretty much got yours the same time as I got mine, mid-March. But if you bought yours through an American distributor or American vendor, it's getting into collectors' hands now, which is mid-April 2020. Ironically, the same thing happened to the first version of Kong. You know, I think the first version of Kong, came out, I want to say, late 2018. I think if you bought yours from Hobby Search or another Japanese vendor, like I said, they got theirs like I think around November, and then the American distributed ones got released like a month later. The same thing happened here, you know. Now, mind you, we first got word of this thing last summer, and honestly, this figure resonates more with me on a personal level because I had the honor and privilege to actually showcase this figure for the first time, making his debut on American soil at G-Fest, along with my Summit Kaiju brethren, Jeremy Souls, John Ruffin, and Giuseppe Bianco. We had like a great panel at G-Fest, and we actually debuted this figure for the first time. And on top of that, G. Okamoto and Kazuma Matsubara from X-Plus was there as special guests right there at G-Fest and right there at the panel. So to have, you know, this debut there, as well as having those awesome gentlemen there, people that I've always wanted to meet, was such a mind-blowing experience for me. And I will never forget that. And it really does my heart good, or it did my heart good at the time, because we showcased nothing but pretty much Kong figures. You know, this new one, you know, the original Kong, the Death of Real Kong, the Skull Crawler. It was really the King Kong show, quite frankly. And people were coming into the panel, and they were having a good time, and we did our best to provide them with a great panel. And after the show was over, they went up and took pictures of all the Kong stuff. So it was nice to see people just gravitate a lot more to Kong, even though we were at a Godzilla related event. You see what I'm saying? So that did my heart good. But once again, this resonates more with me on a personal level because of the experience I had with Jeremy, John, Giuseppe, G, and Matsubara-san. So once again, that will always stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, this is the deluxe version. The deluxe version comes with this base, this awesome base that Kong is standing upon. We'll dive more into that later on. But there's somewhat of a little issue with this release as of late, for what I've seen. Now, the standard supposedly should have came with just Kong by himself, without the the accessories, the propeller and the chain that's wrapped around his fist here. But after seeing a couple of reports from people that are getting their standards, actually the standard does come with the propeller and the chain. It doesn't come with the base. So just the deluxe version come with the base. You see what I'm saying? Now, for those who probably were expecting Kong to come by himself and was not really wanting the chain or the propeller, at least you get like an added bonus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of like false advertisement in a way, but in my opinion, at least you're getting a small bonus on top of that with the propeller and the chain. Let me just tell you, this looks great because Kong has a weapon in his hand, and it looks really, really awesome. A guillotine weapon, if you will. So it looks great. Now, I don't recommend you try to pry it out with a hairdryer because you may end up damaging the figure, beyond repair. So once again, I look at it as an added bonus, and maybe you should too, you know what I'm saying? Because the chain and the propeller is really, really, really is awesome. But once again, this is such a great figure. Now, this figure took inspiration from a couple prior X-Plus figure releases. First and foremost, the Death for Real Kong. The Death for Real Kong pretty much had the same type of pose. It had the same mini propeller in his hand as well as the chain here. So that took inspiration for that. But also when X-Plus brought out the 2014 Godzilla back in 2015, you know what I'm saying? And y'all recall that figure, right? And they brought out another version, a strikingly similar but yet often a different version, like 6 months later, in February of 2016, with the roaring mouth and the blue dorsal plates. When they brought out the first version of Kong, with him just being more statuesque and his mouth closed and blah, 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 I was thinking to myself, you know what? It would surprise me if X-Plus does the same thing with Kong as they did with the 2014 Godzilla and bring out an alternate, different, but similar version of Kong. And that's basically what they did here. You know what I'm saying? Between the two, quite frankly, I like this one more because I love him with his mouth roaring and his pose is just awesome. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against the original version because the original Kong is awesome too. But this one strikes me a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit better. I think the base is better on this one than the previous Kong. You know what I'm saying? With him being more a ferocious look on his face with his mouth and his fangs and his mouth wide open, whatever. He just has more ferocious, intimidating look. More so than the first one, but either way, both Kongs are so awesome. So that's pretty much it with the backstory of me getting this figure and all that good stuff. Once again, such an awesome figure. So let's dive here first into this review and get up close and personal with this Kong. Yes, Kong looks awesome. Now the size of this Kong, he's at least on top of the base, he's like maybe 33 to 34 centimeters tall, which is a big figure. You know what I'm saying? Like even without the base, even without the base, Kong himself stands at least like 31, 33 centimeters tall. You see what I'm saying? He's a big guy. He's a big boy. He's even bigger or taller, I should say, than the original Kong. And he does rival other taller 30 centimeter X-Plus figures. You know what I'm saying? Like Godzilla 1967. Remember, that was a tall, big figure for a 30 centimeter. Titanosaurus is another one. Ghidorah, you know what I'm saying? And Kong is right there with him somewhat. So I love the fact that Kong, size-wise, he's a bigger 30 centimeter figure to what we're accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? Now, before we go into Kong himself, let's go with the base. Now, the base is awesome. The base has grooves in it where you can place Kong's feet in them. So I haven't had an issue of like Kong toppling over or falling off the base and stuff like that. His feet is firmly planted into the grooves here, which I really do enjoy. It has the logo of the film, Kong Skull Island, right there in the front, right there. It has some shrubbery right here, some green shrubbery, which looks awesome. It has like the assorted bricks all around the outskirts of the base. It looks awesome as well. As well as the ship. It has like a little sunken ship right here in the back end of the base. It could be the ship that Kong landed. You know what I'm saying? After he was fighting the Skullcrawler, and the Skullcrawler threw him into the ship, which caused him to have this chain in the first place. So I believe that this is the ship from that moment. So this base is great. This base is great. Now the previous Kong Deluxe version had a base too, but that was more of a green island base with a little river flowing through it. You know what I'm saying? Once again, that base is awesome too. But between the two, I actually enjoyed this one a little bit more, just a little bit more. So that's it with the base. The base is great. Now let's go with Kong himself. Pretty much, he's very similar to the first Kong. Like I said, the only thing that's really different is just his pose is different. His mouth is roaring, and actually he has darker fur on his body. He has more pronounced musculature in his chest. He looks really more buffed up, which makes me very, very excited for Godzilla vs. Kong whenever that film does come out, because you have this version of Kong, muscular, like a giant tank, like a giant built-up tank, a weapon of war. Then you have the 2019 Godzilla that's kind of like built the same way, with his arms kind of buffed out, you know what I'm saying? And just to see these two giant tanks and just awesome weapons of destruction going at it, it's gonna be awesome. But I do love this sculpt, I really do. As a matter of fact, I kind of think this is how Kong is gonna look in 2020 anyway, or at least in Godzilla vs. Kong anyway. With the darker paint scheme. Now, the first Kong had more of a light brownish paint scheme in comparison to this one, but this one has a more darker paint scheme, you know what I'm saying? And I think that that's how Kong is going to look in the film anyway. I don't think they're going to change the design too much, in my opinion. I don't think they should, really. The one thing that we have heard that Kong will have in this film, apparently or allegedly, will be like a beard. But I think, aside from that, he's going to be bigger. He may be even more muscular, excuse me, and I think his hair is going to be darker to signify him being an older, more mature ape than what he was in Kong Skull Island. So I expect this Kong, at least the new version of Kong and Godzilla vs. Kong, really not too really not too much different from this guy right here. And actually, you know what, to all my King Kong purists out there, even for those that may hate on what I'm about to say, in certain angles, this figure kind of looks like the 76 version of Kong. And say what you will about the film or whatever, I love that film and I love that version of Kong. But there are certain angles where this version of Kong kind of like has a little bit of similarities with the 76 version of Kong, especially with his mouth roaring like this. So I really do enjoy that. But once again, they have done a great job. Once again, this is based off the concept with the 2014 Godzilla, where they took an already existing sculpt of Kong and they just augmented it into another sculpt, and they have done a phenomenal job. There's not much to it, quite frankly, because if you already have the original version of Kong, you know, like I said, there are striking similarities between the two, but there's enough of a difference here, size-wise, paint job-wise, sculpt-wise. They added accessories, you know what I'm saying? Where it just warrants an investment, especially if you're a King Kong fan like I am. And since X-Plus has been doing a lot more Kong figures with this one, the Defo Reels, you know, the Skull Crawler, and we're not done yet. I know they're probably going to bring out King Kong versus a Skull Crawler battle pack at some point. I think they're going to use this exact scope of Kong, because I do remember seeing this and a Skull Crawler wrapped in battle, like in a battle set at I think New York Comic Con last year. Right now we don't know when that's coming out, quite frankly, but that's supposedly coming out. So we're not done with Kong, and I hope they're not done with Kong. You see what I'm saying? Because they have done a great job with Kong thus far, with everything they have done. With this one, the first one, the Defo Reel, you know what I'm saying? They have done a great job with Kong. But once again, this is such a great looking sculpt of Kong. Very imposing, very ferocious, you know what I'm saying? They have done a great job from top to bottom. Yes, yes, yes. And as it stands right now, it's my favorite Kong figure from the Monsterverse, because I have the original, I have the original standard, excuse me, and the original deluxe version, and I have the Defo Reel. You know what I'm saying? And as it stands right now, the gigantic Godzilla 2019 is my favorite collectible from the Monsterverse. But this one is fighting it just a little bit. And it's kind of ironic. You know, the two anchors of the Monsterverse, Godzilla vs. Kong, but yet I can't pick which one, as far as collectible wise, which one I love more. I love them both, you know what I'm saying? I love the gigantic 2019, and I love this version of Kong, but I guess it just depends on what day you catch me on which one I prefer over the other one. But they're both awesome figures, and this is an awesome figure. And if you're locked in for a pre-order, trust me, you will be in hog heaven once this guy arrives. Trust me when I say that. He is awesome. Whether you get the standard or the deluxe version, you can't go wrong with this figure. Yes, Kong 2 2.0. Yes, 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 from Star A/X Plus. That's pretty much it with up close and personal with this guy. Backstory, box. It's a solid release from top to bottom from Star A/X Plus, and you would not be disappointed, especially if you're locked in for a pre-order. So let's go with the first size comparison with all the cons, or at least pretty much a good majority of them, of the cons in my collection. So let's go to size comparison right now. Okay, folks, this is the first size comparison alongside the X-Plus/Star Ace Deluxe version of the 12-inch soft vinyl figure of Kong 2.0. I have a few of the King Kong pieces in my collection, and I want to bring this up for a great size comparison, or just comparison in general, with the few King Kong pieces I have in my collection. Let's start from left to right. To the far left, that's actually the deluxe version of the original Kong brought out by Star A/X Plus. Awesome figure. The light brown fella right there next to him, that's actually a 30cm Murakami King Kong 1967 kit, based off his appearance in my most favorite King Kong film of all time, King Kong Escapes. Of course, the man in the hour, Kong 2.0 in the background. In the foreground, the little fella, yes, the big head little fella with the Napoleon complex. That's the X-Plus/Star Ace Devil Real Kong. Awesome figure. And of course, the Kong to the far right is Roto Kaiju's kit of Giant Gorilla 2.0, also known as King Kong from King Kong vs. Godzilla. Kind of ironic that he's standing next to the other Kong 2.0, you know what I'm saying? And as you can see, they look so well together. Yes, an evolution of the 8th wonder of the world. Now, I do have a few other Kong pieces in my collection besides these. I have a giant version of the King Kong from King Kong vs. Godzilla, and a giant version of Kong from the 76 movie. Quite frankly, I don't have any figures or representations of Kong from the 33 film as well as the 2005 film. And as much as I do enjoy those films, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not really a big fan of those Kong designs. So I'm not really looking to add those in my collection. These are the real deal for me. You know what I'm saying? I think the reason behind it is this is the Kong in this interpretation of Kong where he's depicted more so as a kaiju. And, you know, I'm a Godzilla fan through and through, so I enjoy Kong when he's depicted more as a kaiju. Now, there's some fans out there that will argue that. They will say, nah, King Kong is not a kaiju. Now, I will argue maybe the 33 version and 2005 version, and maybe the 76 version. As much as I love those movies, especially 76, I don't think that he has a chance up against another kaiju like Godzilla. But these Kongs here have a definite chance against Godzilla. And actually, one of them did beat Godzilla. So don't hate me in the comment section. But yeah, I love Kong when he's depicted more as a kaiju. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like a giant gorilla, in these interpretations, he's a whole lot more. And quite frankly, he needs to be a whole lot more if he is going to fight Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? But like Godzilla, I like Kong. I like the fact that Kong can be portrayed so many different ways in so many different movies, but yet he still, you know, gets so much respect and so much love. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about Kong. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of ironic that when it comes to this version of Kongs, these versions of Kongs, excuse me, these versions are the ones that Kong doesn't die at the end. So that's always good. So that's pretty much it with the first size comparison. Yeah, I love these Kongs. I really do. Every Kong in my collection I really do enjoy. But these are awesome. Now, I mentioned Godzilla just now, so you know what? I'm going to bring up a few other Godzillas, at least a couple Godzillas, that I'm going to pair with this Kong. And I'm kind of torn on which one I should pair this Kong with. So maybe you can help me out with that. So let me go with the last size comparison. I'm going to bring up two other Godzillas from my collection. The Gigantic Series 2019 version, as well as the 30cm 2014 Blue Warrior version. So let's go with that last size comparison right now. Okay, folks, this is the last size comparison, and yeah, it's only fitting and appropriate and perfect that I will make this size comparison happen. Yes, yes, yes. God versus King. The King of the Monsters versus the God of Skull Island. Yes, the Monsterverse version of King Kong versus the Monsterverse version of Godzilla. And alongside Kong, I have the Gigantic Series Rick Exclusive Edition of Godzilla 2019, as well as the 30cm Rick Exclusive Edition of Godzilla 2014. Yes, yes, yes. As I said earlier, I'm kind of torn which one I should oppose Kong with. You see what I'm saying? Now, a case can be made for either one. You know what I'm saying? If you have these figures, maybe you can determine it on your own as well. But a case can be made for either one. Now, if you go with the 30cm, I'm kind of leaning towards that one just a little bit. Because even with Kong not on the base. He comes in around the same size as Godzilla. Godzilla has a little bit of a height advantage, maybe like a half an inch or a quarter of an inch, and I actually like it that way. It's the traditionalist in me. I prefer Godzilla to be the bigger monster of the two, quite frankly. So when you take Kong on top of the base and put him against the 3rd centimeter 2014 Godzilla, you have yourself a good image between those two monsters. You know, just the idea of those two going at it. You see what I'm saying? Or it's kind of appropriate that you compare them with the Gigantic, because if you look at the size comparison between the two, obviously they're not in scale with each other. But as far as like the events of the film and how the monsters were sized in the film, Kong in Skull Island was like 100 feet tall, whereas Godzilla in 2019, King of the Monsters, he was like maybe 330, 340. So maybe the size comparison does work, because, you know, Kong still has some growing to do when he does eventually fight Godzilla later on. So the size comparison can work there. But as you can see, they both look awesome. So why don't you pop down in the comment section and let me know which one would you prefer putting Kong up against, the Gigantic or the 30? Either way, you can't go wrong with this. Yes, yes, yes. So that's pretty much it with the size comparisons. And you know what? Let's wrap this review up with my final thoughts of this awesome figure of Kong 2.0. So let's go to that final commentary portion of the video right now. Okay, folks, I'm back with my final thoughts of the X-Plus/Star Ace 12-inch soft vinyl figure of Kong 2.0 Deluxe versions based off his appearance in the super cool Monsterverse film, Kong Skull Island. Once again, such an awesome figure. Yes, yes, yes. Also, forgive Godzilla. He did not want to leave. He did not want to have Kong have his moment to himself. So he's going to be here for the duration of the video. You know what I'm saying? Why not, right? Because we're on our way to the epic rematch of all rematches. Godzilla vs. Kong. You see what I'm saying? So it's only appropriate that he be here. But once again, this is another awesome addition to the X Plus roster. The great X Plus roster. As far as Monsterverse stuff that X Plus has done, they've done a great job of pretty much every single release. Some may not be as great as other ones, but so far I have been thoroughly happy with every Monsterverse release that they have ever done. Whereas the multiple death reveals of Kong himself, Godzilla, Rodan, even King Ghidorah. Yes, I love that figure. You know, the multiple 30 centimeters. You know, the first version of Kong, the 2014 Godzillas. They have done a great job. I'm looking forward to see what else that comes on the pipeline from the Monsterverse. But what they have made thus far has been awesome, really awesome. You can definitely add this guy onto the list. Just seeing these two together makes me real anxious of when this movie is going to come out. Now, because of what's going on in the world, I believe the movie may get delayed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just have put that in my mind because they've been pushed back so many other films, right? Hopefully we can have this done, at least have it out by November. Hopefully the whole world will be better by then. But I don't think they're going to abandon the movie. At least I hope they don't. You see what I'm saying? Because we have been waiting for this for the longest time. This is a rematch that we've been asking for, clamoring for, requesting. After many times Godzilla has fought Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Mothra, King Kong is the one opponent that I've always wanted to see Godzilla fight once again. And I think we're on our way. Trust me, we are on our way. I can't wait to see what happens. And at this point, it's pure speculation at this point. And I'm really intrigued, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen that's going to bring these two together? What's going to start the fight? Will other classic Toho monsters make an appearance in this film? Will these two team up to take on a bigger threat? There's so many different questions to this movie, and I think they will deliver. You know what I'm saying? I think they will deliver. I mean, in my opinion, they better bring their A game. You know what I'm saying? This movie, at least these two coming together, does not happen very often. Kong and Godzilla, it don't happen very often. So they better bring their A game, and trust me, I think they will. As cheesy and goofy that some people they think that the classic film is, it got some big shoes to fill. But I think that they will. Judging on what they've done thus far in the Monsterverse, I think they will bring their A game to this film. Yes, yes, yes. So once again, this is such a great figure. I highly recommend it. Yes, yes, yes. So whether you got the standard or deluxe version, you can't go wrong with this figure. Trust me when I say that. So that pretty much concludes my review of the X Plus/Star Ace 12-inch soft vinyl figure deluxe version of Kong 2.0, based off his super cool appearance in the super cool Monsterverse legendary film, Kong Skull Island. If you have any questions, holler me down in the comment section. Hit me up on Facebook via Leslie P. Chambers. We'll definitely go from there. Yes, once again, a great figure. Now, if you locked in for a pre-order, because of what's going on in the world, there are fewer flights coming out of Japan. So if you order this from like an online vendor or wherever, it's going to take a little bit longer for these guys to get here, unfortunately. But if you locked in for a pre-order, if you locked in to get one, trust me, you will be in hog heaven once he arrives. You know what I'm saying? And this guy stands up with the other Kong figures that X-Plus has ever done. For the Devil Real, the first version of Kong, you know what I'm saying? And as I mentioned earlier, they're not done with Kong. Apparently they're going to make a King Kong versus Skullcrawler set. You know what I'm saying? So that should be awesome. But in the meantime, this guy is amazing, and you would not be disappointed if you are locked in for a pre-order to get this guy. You will be happy once he arrives. Yes, yes, yes. A few things coming here on the channel as always. Got a few more reviews I got to do. Once again, I've been kind of slack with the reviews, you know what I'm saying? I've been kind of busy, but I have so much to do. As I was thinking about it the day before I started making this video, I got like maybe 15 to 16 projects I got to do. So trust me, we will have some content flowing on the channel to hopefully keep you entertained during this rough time. As I mentioned many times before, I know it's rough what's going on out there in the world right now. Things are not the best in the world, but you know what? We will get through this. We'll get through this together. Just keep your head up, keep your chin up, and we will be just fine in the end. Trust me when I say that. But in the meantime, if you can, get this figure. Get this figure. You will not be disappointed with the X-Plus/Star Ace 12-inch soft vinyl figure, standard or deluxe version of Kong 2.0. He is awesome, and he is the king, challenging Godzilla. Can't wait for that. Yes, yes, yes. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see y'all again on that Figure Move review. All right? Y'all take it easy. And you know what? As the great Dr. Serizawa said in 2014, let them fight.